Hello and welcome to NAIFA Live. I'm your host, Zach Hewells. We have a great speaker lined up for you today, but first I just want to make a quick announcement. Now you may or may not know that we started this year breakout rooms following NAIFA Live for us to meet with the speaker and have a live Q&A, but also to network with one another as NAIFA members. So if you do have some time today after the session, we would love to see you there. And now, as always, I would like to turn things over to NAIFA Tennessee's own John D. Richardson for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks so much, John. And now I'd like to turn things over to NAIFA CEO Kevin Mayu for some NAIFA announcements.
Hello, NAIFA Nation. Welcome to NAIFA Live. I particularly like to welcome all of our new members. I'm sure many of you will have seen from our Monday posts on social media, NAIFA continues to add first-time members at a rate that simply we haven't seen in many, many years. It's an exciting time to be part of this association, and I thank you, each of our members, particularly the new ones, for the investment that you are making in you and choosing to belong to your professional association. I also want to acknowledge and thank our loyal members. You are truly the lifeblood of this association. Today, we have a great NAIFA Live program featuring Terrence McMahon, a best-selling author, TEDx speaker, coach, and expert in personal and brand storytelling. I think we're all going to learn a lot from Terrence's presentation. But before we get to him, I'd like to give you a few brief association updates. At the top of our agenda is NAIFA's Congressional Conference, which is just around the corner, May 25th and 26th. This year, just like last, we're going to be 100% virtual due to COVID-19 health concerns and restrictions that are in place in the U.S. Capitol. But even in a virtual setting, the Congressional Conference can still have a huge impact on public policy. You can make a real difference and contribute to NAIFA's advocacy success. If you haven't already done so, I'd encourage you to register today and represent your state in this year's Congressional Conference. To register, go to advocacy.naifa.org/2021. NAIFA recently held a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Impact Week, and I'd like to thank everyone who participated. Brought to you by NAIFA's DEI Council, advancing DEI within NAIFA and in the insurance and financial services industry is an important part of the NAIFA 2025 strategic plan. It's crucial to ensuring that NAIFA continues to grow as a healthy, all-inclusive association that can make the greatest possible impact on behalf of our members and the clients you serve. It's crucial to fulfilling our industry's highest aspiration of providing financial security and prosperity to every American in every community across our great country. For more great DEI resources, visit NAIFA's Talent Development Center, where on-demand sessions are available. Finally, I want to encourage all NAIFA members to support IFAPAC. Our Political Action Committee gives NAIFA a strong, unified voice as we support candidates for national and state offices who understand the important roles that agents and advisors play in protecting the financial security of Main Street Americans, their families, and businesses. I hope that everyone with us today during our NAIFA Live event is an IFAPAC supporter. With the PRO Act and other legislation looming, we need you now more than ever before. We need your voice to be impactful as the professional association for the industry. Also, keep an eye out for IFAPAC Main Street Mixers and Sips and Tips that are events that are happening on a monthly basis, and they will be highlighted in our upcoming print issue of Advisor Today. We are excited about these opportunities for NAIFA members to gather virtually, have some fun, get recognized, and support our Political Action Committee. Now I'd like to introduce NAIFA Live and our featured speaker. Please welcome Terrence McMahon, a teacher and mentor who developed the Anywhere Advisor system. He's also an expert on online marketing. Today, he's going to talk to us about how to build a location-independent practice that attracts dream clients like clockwork. It should be a great presentation. Now let's turn it over to Terrence.
I want to thank everyone for allowing me to be here today to share my story and to share my message. And I want to let everyone know this is my 4th decade of being a NAIFA member. I started in 1991 knocking on doors. And then I literally started knocking them dead in this business by anybody's standard. And then I was nearly dead. And I'm going to share with you that story and that journey and what I learned. And maybe hopefully you can avoid some of the mistakes that I encountered along the way, make your life a little easier, be a little more happy, be a little more healthy, be a little more successful, make an impact on more people's lives. So 5 years ago, my life changed on a day. It was May 26th, 5 years ago, just in a couple months, 2016. And that day started out like any other day for me, and any other day for me was very different, probably different than your typical day. At the time, I was 350 pounds. I was morbidly obese, and I was suffering from crippling panic attacks from years of stress and the grind, the prospecting grind, the business grind, just a lot of toxicity, a lot of stress. So I would wake up. And by the way, I was running a pretty good sized firm. We had hundreds of advisors. We had tens of thousands of clients. We managed over $1 billion. And pretty soon a driver would come to pick me up for my day. So after I took my shower, got my suit on, I'd go down into the refrigerator. I would take some orange juice, and in the orange juice, I would pour vodka. I pour vodka because I had the shakes. I had the shakes because I was a daily drinker for 3 decades. I was medicating anxiety and panic attack with alcohol. That was an algorithm. That was a set of steps that I used to get a result. And that result worked really well for me for a number of years, but not that day. Okay, so after I got into my car, I'd go into the conference room, I would talk to agents for the day. I would be recruiting agents or coaching agents, and I was hiding things that was happening to me. One of the things that happened to me is the shake. So I had to put my finger on the table and slide it across, because if I pointed, it would be obvious to everyone what was going on. And at the end of the day, we go out for drinks, and then I just wasn't feeling well. So on the way home, I had a sensation in my heart, and I ended up going to the hospital. And when you have a heart problem and you go to the hospital, I said, I think something's wrong with me. They usher you directly into the hospital. So doctors are coming in one at a time. And once they come in more than that, you're in trouble. And then the doctor came up to me, and by the look on his face, I was like, oh boy. And he said, Mr. McMahon, it's not your heart, it's your liver. Your liver and your pancreas are shutting down, and we need to go to some extreme measures tonight or you're gonna die. In an instant, I went from being a 7-figure CEO with everything I wanted to being labeled an alcoholic and put it on the end of a liver transplant waiting list. And you literally need someone else to die for you to live. And in the coming days, I learned a lot. I learned some important things. The first thing I learned was it takes on average about a year to get a transplant, to be on the list and get a donor, if you get one at all. And the next thing I learned is that I had less than 6 months left to live. So when you have less than 6 months left to live, you're terminally ill. And when you're terminally ill, everyone probably knows that you're eligible for the accelerated death benefit in your policy. I had 3 of those pay. I also was eligible for 5 disability policies and 5 waiver of premiums and a long-term care claim. So I was very sick, and I went on a journey that obviously ended good. And I'll talk to you about why that's important in a second. But what I want to talk to you first about today, what I really want to get home, is the concept of regret. So when you're dying, when you're terminally ill, and I was right at the brink of the last days, my kids had already gone home. Most of the people had said goodbye to me because it was getting down to days. It was just me and my mother. And when you're thinking about your life, you're contemplating, your regrets come. So there's something out there called deathbed literature, believe it or not. Of course, the best deathbed literature book is the Bible. You get in touch with your faith at times like that. But there's other books. There's a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, and that's by a hospice nurse named Bronnie Ware. And Bronnie Ware talks about how hospice nurses are more listeners than they are caregivers, because when people are dying, they want to talk about what they wanted to do with their lives, their regrets. The top 5 regrets of the dying are this, and I want to share them with you. One regret was, I wish I took better care of myself, which was true for me. One regret was, I wish I spent more time with my friends, which was true for me. One regret was, I wish I didn't work so hard. Like, I wish I didn't spend my whole entire life working so hard. We work too hard. We spend too much time working. It's not necessary. You could be just as effective with some strategy. Another one is I wish I was more kind to myself. But the regret I want to share with you today is the number one regret of the dying was I wish I lived a life that was true to myself and not one that everybody else wanted me to live. That one was a difficult pill to swallow because that was me. Like, I always did what everyone else wanted me to do. There was things I wanted to do I never did. And now I'm too sick and I'm going to die. And there's another story I want to share with you. Jeff Bezos, when he thought of Amazon, he was a very successful person in New York City, had a great job, and he's talking with his mentor. He's walking through the park and he's saying, I have this idea. I want to sell books online. I want to participate in the internet. And his mentor said this. He said, Jeff, that's a very good idea, and someone should do that. Just not someone like you who has an amazing job on Wall Street. Let someone else do it. And Jeff came up with what he calls the regret minimalization framework. And it's an exercise where you visit your 90-year-old dying self and you have a conversation with that person. And you say, listen, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And wonder whether or not you can live with that decision. So Jeff Bezos says if he did not participate in the internet, he would never forgive himself. I'm quite sure that Jeff Bezos didn't have his compliance and regulators all come with him and say, Jeff, you can't sell other things online. You can only sell books, and you can't use these certain social media, and you can't do affiliate marketing. He had a vision and he went for it. He figured out who could help him do it. And he didn't let anything compromise that, because people want to be more happy, more healthy, more successful. They want a better life, and it's possible. Think about that. Is there something that you want to do that you're going to have a regret that you don't do? A lot of people want to be more healthy. They want to be more happy. They want to be more successful. And the way to do it is to do it differently than you're currently doing it. One book that I'm reading right now is a book called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. And he talks about procrastination. Like, you want to do it, but you don't do it for some reason. And he thinks that procrastination is wisdom. It's your body and your spirit telling you, don't do it yet. You're not ready. You don't know how. Okay. A cure to procrastination is to know who knows how to do it. So you can hire the who to do the how. So a lot of people wanted to do things. So some of the things that I wanted to do when I got my transplant and I survived unexpectedly, which I'll talk to you about in a second because that has a lot to do with eliminating the grind and having a better life, is I wanted to work from anywhere. I wanted to have a lot of free time. I wanted a lifestyle-friendly business that revolved around what I love to do, okay? Not a lifestyle that revolved around a business. It's a very interesting distinction. So I'm going to talk to you about the 5 shifts to create a work from anywhere business that attracts ideal clients like clockwork and gives you more free time. So let's get going. I want to play for you a short clip. This clip was from Gary Vee, and this was 2016. This is the year I got sick. I want you to listen to this clip because he's talking about shifts that we need to take.
The thing that I'm completely taken aback by is the fact that this is now the television, and the television is now the radio. And it's the late 40s and early 50s, and the people in this room that understand that, and understand that Snapchat and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram are ABC, NBC, ESPN, and MTV. And that the businesses and individuals in this room that realize how to make MASH or Seinfeld or the best shows on those platforms will win. We are living through a major shift where every person in this room has a binary decision. Either you go on the defense because of all of this, or you go on the offense. Either you realize this is the greatest opportunity we've ever had as humans and entrepreneurs, or you're scared of all these changes and you judge them and you fear them. And so for me, in this huge shift of technology and communication comes the greatest opportunity ever. Again, because the theme of the night for me, the fact that mainstream media has been able to cast such a cloud over this ecosystem is fascinating to me. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not sad. I'm pumped. I am thrilled that so many people think it's bad, because that's more opportunity for me. And so what I implore you to do is spend a hell of a lot less time worried about other things that will impact you and spend a lot more time to figure out who you actually are. What are you actually good at? Are you actually in a position to be successful? What do you like doing? Because the opportunities are endless. The problem is we are scared to do different things because the fundamental core reality is we worry about what other people think. We worry about getting judged if we fail. One thing that I've been very blessed with is I've traveled the world quite a bit for business and speaking. And one thing that a lot of people may not understand is that entrepreneurship does not work in a lot of other countries because failure is a scarlet letter. Here in the US, we're so lucky that entrepreneurship is met with when you fail, you pick yourself back up and you go. And to me, that is unbelievable, and we are blessed to be in that ecosystem, and we need to take full advantage of it.
Well, that's it. You talk about shifts, you talk about trying something, you talk about participating. It's here. This was 5 years ago, and thankfully we are in a very low-tech, lagging industry. This industry is lagging behind, particularly as it relates to getting involved in this. And I'm going to talk to you about these shifts as it applies to you, because I was client zero. I did this all myself. There's not one thing that I recommend that I didn't do to apply in my own life to get that outcome. In the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can 10x your prospecting in a fraction of the time by transforming your offline prospecting into an online process that runs 24/7 like clockwork, even with low technical ability. I'm going to show you how to turn those prospects from digital strangers, they don't know you, into quality kept appointments that will fill up your calendar, and sometimes, yes, without ever even speaking to them. I'm going to talk to you how to significantly increase your average account size. Do I have your attention? 25 to 100%, because you're targeting people using big data to attract that ideal client into your world, even if you don't have any experience with marketing. All you have to do is know the who, not the how. I'm going to show you how to show up to your meetings as an established authority in your target market, and you don't have to write a book, host a radio show, or post all day and night on social media. And I'm going to show you how to make your business, just like mine is now, 100% location independent, which means you can work from anywhere in the world. And I'm going to show you how to do all this with your current ability, your current personality, and without feeling awkward doing live videos. This is a shift, and these are shifts you need to make to get that. But before we get going, let me promise you this. I'm going to promise you how these 5 shifts will help you build a work from anywhere business that attracts ideal clients like clockwork and get you back your free time. Get your life back, your freedom. All right. So let me ask you this. Does this sound like you? Do you see other people making big money online and feel like you're missing out on the online marketing boom? What do you think? Do you hate the constant face-to-face prospecting grind and having to spend all of your time networking for referrals and introductions? Do you feel way behind in technology and the social media techie aspect of digital marketing is overwhelming? All right, am I hitting home yet? Do you have an income that goes up and down like a roller coaster, which I call consistently inconsistent? And do you start every month feeling like you're unemployed because your marketing is unpredictable, erratic, or broken? And do you wish you could close more deals if you just had more quality leads? Let me ask you, are you secretly terrified that you'll never break out of the grind and never get the freedom that once attracted you to this business? I know I did. All right. The real problem isn't that you're a bad person, or you're not smart, or you're not eligible or capable to do the things that can give you these breakthroughs. The real problem is you haven't made the shifts. And once you've made the shifts, you will wake up every single morning with a sense of excitement and aliveness because you've eliminated things in your life that you hate doing. You will be able to just grab your laptop, think about it, fly anywhere in the world and still serve your clients. You're not unemployed while you travel. You'll be able to explore new restaurants, new cultures, create an amazing income while serving your clients. You will have new clients coming in like clockwork without having to go to networking groups, give live seminars, follow up and chase people 3 and 4 times. You will earn more income, being able to provide for your family and grow your residual income. You'll save tons of time and tons of money not having to drive to an office or go to different locations. That is like the world's biggest waste of time and money. And you'll be able to pick up phone calls or Zoom meetings, close deals, and be able to live fully. And best of all, you'll be doing what you love and not what you hate. I'm a retired CEO and general agent. I've been in the chair. I know what it is. I'm also a securities principal, so I understand compliance and the dynamics. And I'm here to tell you that you can work with your compliance using videos and social media. There are ways to do it. You need to communicate with that. I've written books. I wrote the best-selling book, Superhero Self, How to Recover and Recreate Yourself. I was happy to share that message on a TED stage 1 October ago in Chicago at Malcolm X University. I host a podcast where I curate books and learn from books and teach others how to use books. And I have over 1 million followers on social media. Now, I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to impress upon you that just 4 short years ago, a little over 4 years ago, I didn't have any social media followers. The algorithms that I'm going to teach you are the algorithms that I use to do this. And I brought that to you. So how did I discover the shifts? So this was me, 1991, left college, no job. I ended up getting a job selling life insurance door to door. And after a very short while, I'm on the brink of emotional and financial failure. Okay, what's better than knocking on doors? Anything. And my life changed on January 10th. And it changed for this reason, 2 reasons. Number 1, my son David was born. And that was amazing. Of course, my first son. The second thing was, as soon as he was born, the nurses came in, they put ink on his feet and they put ink on his fingers, and they made this form, which I now know was his application for a birth certificate. And that I found was very interesting. I asked the nurse what they did with that, and she said every day they bring them down to town hall, or every couple of days, they file them, and it's a matter of public record. I was like, that's interesting, because on top of door knocking, every Tuesday night, the birth announcements came out in the Lowell Sun in Lowell, Massachusetts, and me and 49 other agents would call the same leads. So now I had an idea. I said, what if I could get that lead first? What if I could go down to town hall and get the lead? I could call them first before everyone else got to them. And I created what I now know is my first algorithm, a step-by-step process to solve a logical problem. Here's my algorithm. I go to town hall, right? I would collect the names. I'd go to a payphone, and at the time you could dial 411. I would dial 411, and then the operator would give me their phone number. About 90% of the time, I built a script, a very simple script. It was just basically, hey, my name's Terrence. I was in town hall. I noticed you had a new arrival in the family, and I'm wondering if you've updated your coverage and your college plan since. I'll be in your area next week. I'd love to come by and share with you the type of work I do. All right. That was it. That was the algorithm. I'd show up. I do a college funding first appointment. I take an application, deliver the policies. I follow up. I had an algorithm. I had a framework. So I had a framework that took me from the brink of failure to a 6 and then later 7-figure income. And my business went viral with this machine. This was a Pitney Bowes mailing machine. This mailing machine allowed me to stamp, stuff, print, and mail mass mailings, and I ended up going viral. I ended up getting thousands of leads. I blowing up financially, becoming a general agent. I blew up physically. And of course, at the end, I was 350 pounds. I was in very serious trouble and ended up at the brink of the end. And the rest is history. I get this transplant from a prisoner. In the very last moment, he saved my life, and I ended up recreating myself. I ended up writing books and learning about algorithms and just wanted to go on my journey and learn the things that I needed to learn, the who's and the how's on how to do what I wanted to do. So I had no regrets. So I'm going to talk with you about the algorithm to transition your business, the algorithms that I use to become verified on social media. This is just Facebook. There's 5 million impressions every single month of people that look at my content and comment on it. So I'm helping people, and I'm doing it from anywhere on earth. And you can too. You can too. If you know the who, you can learn how to do it. You can get the how. All right, so here are the 5 shifts to a work from anywhere business that can attract clients like clockwork and free up your time. And I'm going to go over each one right now. Shift number 1 is the transformation from generalist to specialist. You cannot be everything to everyone anymore. You cannot do that. You need to crystallize your niche market and your ideal client profile. If you want to take your business online and you want to scale, you need to get crystal clear of who it is you're helping, what problem they have, and what you're going to offer them. That's a very simple framework that I'm going to talk to you about right now. All right. And the method that I'm going to share with you, the concept, is called the long tail model. And this was developed by Chris Anderson from TED. He's the curator at TED, and he talks about how search words like physician is a very low converting, very expensive click online. But if you crystallize that and niche it down a little bit, like for example, if you went to resident physicians, that becomes a higher converting, less expensive lead. And if you niche it even further down, Fort Lauderdale resident physicians, it becomes even better. So you can grow rich in a niche. Then the riches are in the niches. The niches are out here. This is where the riches lie. This isn't a market that you can get crystal clear at. You can get very high converting, low cost introductions to people niching, growing rich in a niche. So I call it the rule of 1. All right. You have one niche market. You need to pick a niche. All right. You don't have to live there forever. When you're targeting people and you're spending money and you're paying Google and Facebook to get access to your market, you need to niche. You can't run ads at everybody. You can't sell to everyone. You need to sell to a niche, because that niche always has what I call a common and significant problem. Like for example, the doctors would have, the young resident doctors typically will have student loan debt as a common problem. So if you created a solution that spoke to that, you could run traffic and run messaging and make posts about, hey, I'm a financial advisor. I work with young Fort Lauderdale based residents, and I help them pay off their student loans faster so they have more money to accumulate and build wealth. Like that would be a very good offer. So you're very, very simple in your business model. You can give this information to a who that knows how to run traffic and knows how to articulate this business model. You don't have to do everything on your own. It all starts with research. You need to research your audience and develop your message. You need to be the most informed person on earth about your niche audience. You need to be niched well enough so you can be that person. All right, because you can't be the most informed people on physicians, but could you be an expert on Fort Lauderdale resident physicians? The answer is yes. And you can then build a brand in that community and market. Because like the Buddhists, a good movement starts at the core and expands out. All right, it doesn't start from all over the place. It starts at a very small core. Building your core audience and your core message, you can have a core brand, and then you can ask big data. You can ask these giant data warehouses, Google, Facebook, Instagram. Now we got TikTok, we got LinkedIn. They are loaded with data, and you can buy that data. You can access that data. Some of it for free, but a lot of it you can buy. And there's a very deliberate process of paying for a result, for an introduction. Very, very predictable. And the process I use that you can educate yourself and then others about your client is to name that client, that ideal prospect. I call this exercise Fred Q. And Fred stands for this. It stands for exactly how are they feeling. People buy emotionally. They buy based upon what they're feeling. All right, so how is your client feeling, right? If you're a doctor, are you feeling overwhelmed about the big student loans that you have and the grind of paying them off? Is it taking away from your income? Are you feeling like you don't have enough money to go out on the weekends, even though you're a doctor? What's next? What are their roadblocks? What's in the way? Okay, it's an acronym for Fred. F, feelings, R, roadblocks. What are the roadblocks in the way? Right? I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust. I don't know where to go. Right? That's why it's important to have a message. What are their expectations? These doctors expect to make a fair living. They expect to have a good lifestyle. It's why they became doctors. They can help people and make a good living. And they worked very hard for that. So why are they not doing that? There's going to be frustrations and feelings, and you can articulate that in your messaging so you can appeal to their desires. Like, what do they want? What do these people want out of life? And that is an important piece of information to know. Where are they going? And Q, most important, what questions are they asking the world right now? You need to position yourself and your brand and your offer to enter the conversation that they're already having in their head. If you can do that, you win. Okay? You got to get to know your Fred Q better than anybody else on earth. Okay? So here it is. You need to brand your solution. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can literally name your process. Okay? Like the Anywhere Advisor program I have is a program to help financial advisors pandemic-proof their practice and work from anywhere. All right? It was all built, and I branded it, and there's a book, there's a course, there's training, there's a coaching group. It's a brand. All right? And then you can build them a bridge to resolution. You build them a path, steps. What are the steps? Financial planners collect information, they run tests, they run, they make recommendations, they implement, they monitor. They communicate, like run a bridge, build a bridge to resolution. Invite them into the world. You need to invite them. You need to create an invitation to get them to look at your stuff. All right, that's the framework that you can use. That is the framework that you can use to build this process. So shift number 2 is to go from selling products to making offers. We are peddling products still, all these years later. Even a financial plan, I've seen it peddled. Like it's a financial plan, a fee-based plan. It's $5,000 and, I'll run all these calculations. Just a poo-poo platter of results. It's not a real offer. And I could spend an entire hour or 2 just on offers. But if you can make this shift in your mind that I'm not selling products, I'm making offers to my market to solve their problem. I'm literally offering them to solve the problem. So how do you create an irresistible offer? Okay, you have products, their features and costs and products. All right, it's a single thing. A product is a thing. All right, an offer is a bundle of products that have a benefit and a meaning. Like it does something when it's all collected, like a cake's got all these individual products, the egg, the flour, the water. All right, when you put it together, you get a cake. Like you got to bundle it. And these products, when combined, turn into something that's amazing. So I'm going to take you a look at what products you're offering. Life and DI, we got healthcare, long-term care, and we have AUM and annuities, basically. All right. And some people bundle that into a fee-based plan, which is great. But if you call it a financial plan, a lot of people are going to productize that. It's going to be marketed like a product, and it's going to be bought like a product, and the turnover and the number of people that decline is going to be high. All right, because it needs to be niched and it needs to be built into an offer. So I'm going to take you into a different world. So if you need a babysitter, so this is Amy. You want to go out with your spouse for a night in the town. You want someone to take care of your kids. You want to have a little break, right? And Amy will watch your kids while you have a night out. Amy charges $5 per hour. And Amy is a qualified person by any observer's standpoint. And Amy charges $5 per hour. But wait, there's another babysitter, another option, and her name is Awesome Allie. And Awesome Allie is the super sitter. And Awesome Allie will watch your kids while you have a night out, but she's also going to buy and prepare healthy food for them to eat. She's also going to clean up the kitchen spotless. She's also going to do their homework with them. She's also going to limit their screen time. She's also going to read to them before bed. She's trained in advanced life-saving techniques. She's trained in nutrition and food safety. She has safe and reliable transportation, and she has a perfect driving record. Guess what? Allie charges $12.50 per hour plus expenses. I don't know about you, but Awesome Allie has a hell of a better offer than Amy. She's assembled an offer, an irresistible offer in the eyes of the buyer. So she's built her product for the busy executive that has the money, that can afford services, that has frustrations when they hire a babysitter. If you wanted to articulate this in words and hire someone that knows how to do this, who knows how to write copy, it might look like this. Awesome Allie, the super sitter. Never worry about your kids going hungry again, not getting enough attention, or coming home to an empty stomach. Awesome Allie is a specially trained babysitter who takes care of all the important things while you're on date night without charging too much in expense. Give yourself and your partner some time to relax while Awesome Allie buys healthy food that's appropriate for them, as well as reading bedtime stories and doing homework. Make sure they're healthy and safe by knowing that this sitter has a perfect driving record and high credentials like nutritional training. Seriously, don't wait any longer to get this great service today with the rate starting at $12.50 per hour. Click on the link to have your date night now. Like, that's an offer, and that's how you do it. You list what you have, and then you articulate it in words that pop. So I asked one of my advisors to put together a list of all the things he does for a client. Now, he's in my coaching group, and he works exclusively with professors. So this is what he does for professors. This is all the things. Actually, I had to eliminate a few, but he clarifies their financial goals. Okay, so he knows the exact retirement income and timeline. He organizes their financial advice in a plan. He provides retirement income solution for 30 months. He creates investment strategies to help the best long-term rate of return for a given level of risk. He creates an income distribution strategy. He identifies risks in retirement that need to be addressed. He calculates future state pension benefits and provides suggestions when to start it. He determines emergency fund needs. He recommends strategies for debt. Project the proper time to begin Social Security, evaluate your current tax diversification, and suggest alternatives to reduce taxes. Calculating the probability of success. Monitor your progress towards your unique goals and ensure you stay on track. Look at all this. Hold family educational sessions for children and grandchildren. Act as the quarterback over their financial life and their relationships. Ensure that they are protected should they Ensure that they are protected should they need someone to act on their behalf. Provide a master list of items that need attention. Implement and monitor your plan quarterly. Look at all the value that this person provides. And he has a chief investment officer and investment team. Like, that can be assembled into a legitimate offer that could change someone's life. But a lot of times people see you as a product salesperson. Make an offer. Make an offer to have an amazing retirement, more health, more happiness, less stress in this process. So how do you create an irresistible offer? All right, this is how it's done. You need to brand it. Like, I have a program here, changed some names, but the Protector Project 10 plan. How to retire in 10 years on an income you can never outlive. This is a program for law enforcement officers. It's an offer. It's not a product. This is a outcome-based program. All right. The Dentist Tax Destroyer, how 7-figure dental practices can save 6 figures in taxes and increase the value of their business. What 7-figure dental practice wouldn't want to know what that is? That's a good offer. The Anywhere Advisor, how to pandemic-proof your practice and be 100% location independent. Think about that. Like, these are good offers. And how can you build an offer for your list of things you do for people? My coaching is to go to Barnes & Noble and stroll the aisles and look at books. All books are offers. The cover of a book has great ideas on how to craft an offer. This is one called Expert Secrets. The Underground Playbook for creating a mass movement of people who will pay for your advice. $10. Like, who wouldn't buy that? This is a book we're all familiar with, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The only book you need to lead you to success. Like, this is a classic. The reason it's sold a lot, it's a very simple offer. It's offering you something. The 4-Hour Work Week. I use this exact book to influence my book, The Anywhere Advisor. How to escape the 9-to-5, live anywhere, and join the new rich. The new rich don't kill themselves. The new rich work from anywhere, and they have lots and lots of revenue and freedom. My type of life. Shift number 3, you need to go from live dog and pony show presentations to automated video. This is the one shift that'll free you forever. And it's one of the big grinds that people have for some reason. So it's a secret weapon, really. Once you can figure out how to articulate something in video and express your message to your audience, you win. And we have something called a value video sales funnel. So this is an automated process to deliver a video, to deliver a message. And you might be thinking this. You might be thinking, I don't have the equipment. I'm not a videographer. I'm not a marketing guru. I'm not an actor. Well, guess what? You don't need to do any of that. You don't need it, because what you have sitting in front of you right now is all you need. I'm doing this presentation right now on equipment that you're seeing right in front of you. Very, very simple. The technology is here. You do not need fancy things. Maybe a little lighting, which is super inexpensive. So making a video will allow you to do this. You can say, Facebook, I want to talk to doctors that are residents in Florida, and I want you to invite them in to watch a video that I've prepared about how to pay their debt off earlier, faster, better, so they have more money that they can use to build more wealth and gain more freedom. All they have to do is watch it, a lot of times right in their phone, and if they're interested, they can schedule an appointment. That whole entire process is an automation. That whole entire process is a way that you can invite people in very predictably and have them watch a video that you've prepared that speaks to their Fred Q. You know exactly what they're feeling. You're making them an offer. You're going to make their lives better. And all of a sudden you have this process. So it's a funnel. It is an algorithm. The algorithm that I'm showing you right here will change your life. I not only know how to do most of this, but I also know who knows how to do what I do not know how to do. So you can have strangers going to visitors, turning into leads, turning into customers, and promoting your services just like you always have. Instead of knocking on one door at a time, like I used to in 1991, I could knock on 30,000 doors a day, paying for ads and paying these services to show my images and invitations to people that have the problem. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to recap. Number one is you got to go from generalist to specialist. You got to get a niche. You got to get an ideal client. You need a Fred. Number two, you got to go from selling product to making offers. Offer people a look at your solution and have that be on a live 24/7 video. Have that video do the speaking for you while you're living your life and enjoying your life. All right. So the old way is hours of time prospecting. The new way is minutes launching campaigns. The old way is chase, call, qualify. The new way is target, invite into a value funnel. The old way is schedule the appointment. The new way is automation. They self-select. The old way you're confirming. The new way it's all automated, fully automated. The old way you're driving around all over the place conducting meetings. Maybe the new way is you're showing up as an authority and you're closing. And maybe you're doing it remotely. That's where it's all at right now. That's where the entire shift is happening in the industry. And it hasn't happened in financial services yet. You are not late. If you go into the game, you're still going to get an A for effort, even if you're not that good, because so few are doing it. Shift number 4 is you need to go from amateur to authority. You need to create a digital lobby. You need to look as good online as your lobby does in your office. And that's really easy to do with a little attention and a little bit of authority, right? You need to position yourself as authority. So how do you do that online? Well, you do it with pictures. They're called digital assets. Some assets are geography based. If your market's geography based, some are industry based. This is a real picture from an ad campaign, actually, that we do for construction workers. And some are style based. Some people want to show luxury and wealth and freedom. They want to project that in their image. You can do that in your brand. Pictures tell 1,000 words. We all know that. Use them. And don't have a bad picture representing your brand. I can't believe some of the things that I see. Some people have a LinkedIn profile with a blank banner instead of a banner of their ideal client or some words telling that client what you do to help them. Even worse, some people have pictures of their financial companies. Like, it doesn't mean anything to people. It means something to you, but not to them. So we need to look at that. So growing rich in your niche. Niche marketing is a great way to create authority. I already talked a little bit about this. And another great way is to write an article in your niche. This is super easy. You don't need to know how to write an article. You just need to know how to hire someone who knows how to write an article. There are millions of writers out there dying to write your article, to interview you and write that article for you. it'll be high quality, and you can do it right in the niche. You can interview someone in the niche. You can interview on a podcast. There's 750,000 podcasts right now, and I'm sure there's some podcasts in your niche. You can show up as an authority and do an interview. You could do public speaking in the niche. Power of the pulpit, they always say, like, if you're out there speaking, you're an authority. Capture images of you speaking. Host live webinars. Brand yourself as an expert. You ever think about doing that? Like, I'm an expert. I'm an expert in generating a work from anywhere business for financial advisors. I've made myself that expert. No one else is really doing it. I've kind of created a new category in my marketing, and if you can do that, you've hit the mark. Digital assets, having high quality videos and images of your expertise. People, this is an easy one. You can do it with the new cameras. The new iPhone has a super high quality camera. That camera used to be $10,000 with the same level of pixels as it is now. So you have it in your hand. Use it, capture images, have somebody do that for you. And, strategic alliances and structuring your own interview. This is a technique that I've taught about how to hire a journalist to interview you about your audience, about your expertise, and about your offer, and capture the video clips. Literally, this might cost you a few $100 with a local journalist that has their own film crew, and they'll come set their equipment up and interview you. You'd be surprised. If you want to find out how to do something, you need to find out who knows how, and they're out there. Content is another way. Niche social media pages. These are some more advanced techniques. Pay to play. I've paid to be in some magazines, and a lot of other magazines picked me up for free because I paid to be in the other ones. All right, that's the way media works these days. Unfortunately, you pay to play, and you can also pay to promote your product on social media. This guy here is one of my mentors for social media. Ty is one of the best. He just bought Radio Shack and Steinmart, Pier 1, and Modell's. He bought these bankrupt businesses and brought them online using the exact same algorithms I'm teaching you. The last shift is you got to shift from doing it yourself and learning how to do it yourself or procrastinating to getting a mentor. All right. And I don't know who that is for you, but there's a massive benefit to having a mentor. When you invest in mentoring, you get ideas and you get accountability. You get a whole nother level of perspective. There's new ideas in your head right now because I was invited here to talk to you. I hope it's maybe many ideas, but even if it's only one, that's how you collect ideas. You have your antennas up. You want to know what you want to do with your true self, what your path is, and you want to find out who in the world can help you get there. Who can do it? And don't procrastinate. It's unnecessary. Learn how to break through procrastination by getting the right people in your life. Like, doctors earn $175 and train for 14 years. Like a typical financial advisor, the 10% of the top advisors earn $250, and it takes them decades to get there. I had a bunch of them. It took them forever to get there. They finally got there. What if you can get there to $25,000 per month or more in a matter of months? You'll be ahead of all doctors, and you're going to spend a fraction of the time. So doing it yourself is crazy. I personally spent over $500,000 of my own money, probably $300,000 or $400,000 since 2017. It was a big decision, but every single time the investment pays off. I always learn one thing that I can monetize. And the best mentors out there are around. You got to find them. You want to work with a mentor. That's a shift that will stop you from procrastinating. So what you need to win, here it is, just wrapping up. You got to go from generalist to specialist. You need to go from selling product to making offers, offering them away from their pain. You want to go from live to 24/7 video, like 7-Eleven for financial services. You want to go from being an amateur to being a known and recognized, documented authority. And you want to go from do it yourself, trying to learn how, to who? A mentor, someone who knows how to get you home, who can guide you and bring you all the way. And that's, now you really have a choice. What do you do with this information? And I can only tell you how I'd like to help you. First of all, I'd like to help you by allowing you to participate in free mentoring. My social media is off of my IG account, which is Terrence.McMahon or TerrenceMcMahon.com. You can go to my website and you can learn about that. But I teach a lot of these ideas. I teach these online. I teach them on TikTok. I teach them on Instagram. I teach them on Facebook. And I love it. And I want you to get whatever you can. Learn about it. It's all there. Most of it's free. And when it comes time, special offer for NAIFA is I want everyone to have a free downloadable copy of my book, The Anywhere Advisor. It's in second edition print right now, but the website to go to is theanywhereadvisor.com/free download. There may be a link in the chat at this point, but I want to give everyone a chance. There's simple algorithms. There's a 10-step process to doing this in 10 days in this book. It's very, very simple to get a taste for what it's like. Because my point is, and my coaching is, once you get started, momentum will carry you through. And remember, there's always a who to figure out how to do what you are procrastinating to do right now. Why am I doing this? I believe in making a difference. And I think if I can help you make a difference, then I'll make the world an even bigger place. And NAIFA is the type of organization that is about giving back. I've got ideas from NAIFA over the years that I've used to grow my business and to get more relationships and to make an impact on the world. And I'm here to tell you that you can fall down, you can get up, you can come back, you can make a difference. You can live a life true to yourself. There's no need to procrastinate because you can bring people into your life that can help you break through and have a lifestyle-friendly business that works around your lifestyle, one that you've designed for your family, that offers a lot of happiness, that offers a lot of health, a very healthy life, and changes the world. So I want to thank everybody, and I know there's going to be some questions, and I'm going to be available in different chat rooms to answer questions you may have. Thank you.